First, it was put South Africa first. That had Julius Malema's attention, even though it is a movement which rarely has not been written down in terms of pen and paper, offices and headquarters and individual leader about them. But nonetheless, they were making ground on social media, and then Julius Malema started to attack them. And then recently, it's this gentleman named Nhlanhla Lux, all right? One of the members of Operation Dudula. It's gaining steam. So Julius Malema goes to Parliament, right? And start talking about them. Free airtime, free advertisement. And then next thing, on the launch of 1 million membership by the EFF in Soweto, Julius Malema starts talking about Operation Dudula of Nhlanhla Lux again, free time, free airtime, free advertisement again. So now the dude is trending on a regular basis. The hashtag is moving. Okay. Why is Julius Malema attacking Operation Dudula? Okay. Different political ideology. Remember, the EFF is a socialist slash communist organization, right? With the state as the only people who have to take power and be in charge of everything, being the land, being the banks, and so forth. And also ultimately being in charge of protecting you as an individual with the state guns. And you had Julius Malema stating that there are individuals who are having guns. This, let alone legal firearms or illegal firearms, it really disturbed him that the Operation Dudula guys got firepower and I guess are able to defend themselves. But here's another issue. The EFF is a communist organization that also has a pan-African roots. So in other words, their leader, Julius Malema, always state that there's no such thing as South Africa, there's no such thing as Mozambique, there's no such thing as Ghana. It's Africa. The borders were divided among us by European country in the scramble for Africa. All right, fast forward, we're living here now. And so this led to Julius Malema pushing very hard against people who are saying we're against illegal immigration coming through. We need to see paperwork for any person who comes over here. If there's a critical skill that's lacking, which South Africa needs, for instance, the South African government is busy now. They've put out a list of the critical skills which is required. In other words, if we don't have those critical skills in South Africa, we have to source it from outside. If a person is coming to South Africa and opening a business, they have to have 60% of South Africans and 40% of foreign nationals. All right. And also, speaking of this issue, Mr. Motsoaledi, the Minister of Home Affairs, stated that here in South Africa, there's no law in which a South African government has to have a certain ratio of people that they hire. So in other words, you can be a South African business person, have maybe employees, about 10,000 employees, and having all those 10,000 employees being from outside. Well, that's just the issues that are happening in terms of the governing party. Obviously, they've jumped into this fray of immigration issues because it's been a huge one. The same thing happened to Julius Malema. He's jumping into this issue. Why? The EFF didn't do well in terms of what they expected to do of when it comes to the votes. Most people didn't vote for them because they said, hey, the border is open, everybody come through. You know what I mean? Who cares about charity begins at home in terms of employment and so forth? Remember, he stated that people from outside the Republic can find a creative way of coming through to South Africa, in a sense, illegally, right? Fast forward, the election came through. The Herman Mashaba's action essay surprised everybody. He was a person who was like emphasizing on legal immigration coming, or illegal immigrants coming to South Africa. Only legal. The illegal should then have to be out because they're illegal. Garner a whole lot of votes. He also was under attack by Julius Malema. Then after the elections, he made a U-turn. What's happening? The EFF stated, we're going to be going to all these companies, checking as to see if there is an acceptable ratio of South Africans working in those private companies. For instance, 60-40. We need 60% of South Africans and 40% of foreigners in there, says Julius Malema. And then, obviously, he put a bit of a twist and saying, hey, I'm not like all these xenophobic, self-hating South Africans who are saying people must get the hell out of South Africa. Like, they put South African first. We are not attacking or criticizing the foreigners, legal or illegal. We are attacking the owner of companies who hire the foreign folks and without having appropriate ratio when doing that. So all of a sudden, he just then jumped into the fray of this market of immigrant sentiments that the people of South Africa are having in order to prepare for the elections that are coming through, but making him seem as if he's still having the same stance that he's having, whereas he's not having those stands. So we'll see as to whether that is going to work, because the ANC is in there. They're overhauling the immigrant policy. The sentiments of the people of like put South African first, and Operation Dudula of Nhlanhla Lux out there visibly talking about this issue of illegal immigrants. And then I think the DA also is going to be looking at such policies, but no one would have ever talked about this issue if the ordinary South Africans didn't keep on pounding about this issue. And it's slippery slope, because it's the same thing as this COVID-19, as per Minister Motshekga calls it, where if people want to practice the right to choice, they are called anti-this. So in other words, even if a person could genuinely state saying, listen, let's obey the laws of the republic, get our borders sealed nicely, not like that fence that cost 27 million, where a person just scale through and come in South Africa, and then where shady tenders would have then be dispersed to friends in parliament. We would want to allow everyone to coming in legally, if they have applied for a job, to come and work here and start business and hire a certain number of South Africans in order to also improve the lives of South African, and also infusing their skills from outside. Then you're still going to be called xenophobic as a result. It's the same thing of now each and everything is racist. Saying that it's dark, now it's racist because dark is associated with black and so forth, to such an extent that the real issue of racism would then become a cliche and nobody would take it serious as a result of this racially politics, where people are now race pimps. So we have to look at such situation. My name is Mamuji, and thanks for watching the Mamuji Show, and I'm out.